So playoffs. Oh, the playoff was something else, man. It was really, really something else. We got a few teams. So from Saturday to Monday, there were a couple of teams that was uh that was playing. The Chargers versus Texans. I didn't really watch that. I totally forgot they were playing on Saturday. Uh, I mean, yeah, on Saturday. I thought it was on Friday, but on Saturday, and Texans beat the Chargers 32-12. I did not watch the game, so I can't give you my full thought on it. But what I've heard and what I did some of my research on is that the Texans defense showed up. Their offense did really good. Rex Ryan even said, I think the Chargers are gonna have an easy week. It's a bye week for them versus the Texans. And then Joe Mixon takes out a cigar. Was like, "We're smoking that Rex Ryan pack," and I was like, "Yo, wow." So Rex Ryan got a kick out of it. He laughed about it. He like, "Hey, hats off to you guys. You guys really did well." So now for the Chargers, I'm not sure who was to blame for it. I heard it sounds like it's going to be the quarterback more, not really the coach, but the quarterback and the defense. Quarterback defense are the problem for it. I might be wrong. Let me know. But yeah. Now, the Steelers versus Ravens, this was supposed to be a good matchup head to head, and people kept thinking that the Steelers were somewhat going to win, but no. I honestly thought that the Ravens were going to win, and they did. By the way, I just forgot about this. Last week, I said the Texans were going to win, and they did, which, wow. But the Ravens really did well on defense. Really, really did well on defense. On offense, a whole other level. They're running the ball. Derrick Henry was like over 100 and something yards on the ground, running the ball like it was nothing against the Steelers defense. And Lamar Jackson was just doing what Lamar Jackson does. It's really, really good what he's doing. Is he MVP candidate? I don't know. I think he's up there with Josh Allen, but I think Josh Allen kind of has the edge. But man, that's Lamar Jackson. I think. Ooh, you're doing your thing, my guy. 400. No, my bad. 165 yards for Lamar Jackson. My bad. 175 yards with Lamar Jackson. 2 touchdowns. 16 for 21. Wow, really good. And then Derrick Henry had 186 yards, 7.2 average, 26 carries, and 2 touchdowns. Wow, he made it look easy. Ooh. But let's talk about the Steelers. This is what we gotta talk about with that team is that their defense did horrible. Horrible. Like they're supposed to stop the run. But they didn't do it. They were letting Derrick Henry run over them easily. Now who's to blame? Russell, the coach, defense, everyone was saying the coach. Come on. It's not the coach, it's the players and the coordinators. Like, Mike Tomlin brought the Steelers to the playoff every single year. Yeah, he got blown out like 5 straight. But what other coach is going to help the Steelers get into the playoff? I highly doubt you get another coach who can do that. For 5 years straight, maybe even longer. No, it's not Mike Tomlin's fault. I'll say a little bit because you've got to take some accountability, but it's not really entirely his fault. It's the coordinators and it's the defense. And a little bit of, Russell Wilson did pretty good. 20 completion of 29 attempts, 270 yards, 2 touchdowns. So running wise, I don't know why they didn't run the ball. It was weird because I'm like, you only give Najee Harris 6 carries, 17 yards, average 2.8. And then you got your other running back for 2 carries, 6 yards, and 3.0 average. So why didn't you run the ball when you had the chance to run it? And they were pretty good when it comes to the run during the regular season. So why did they run it? They kept throwing it all the time. So it didn't make any sense. I know the Ravens were stopping them a lot on the run, but you gotta mix and match. You can't keep doing the same thing. So I think from what I saw and what I think from other people saw too, it's the coordinator's fault. And I think it's the coordinator's fault entirely, and then the defense kind of didn't do their job right. That's what I think. Now, let's talk about the other games. We had a good amount of games. I was shocked. So we had the Broncos versus Bills. This one I'm not going to talk a whole lot. Well, I guess. As a Jets fan, I'm not happy with the fact that the Broncos didn't win because I wanted them to win over the Bills. But I said last week the Bills were going to win because they were just too good of a team. But in my heart, I wanted the Broncos. But Josh Allen did really good. But we got to talk about Cook. Not Dalvin Cook, his brother, Cook. He went off. He had 23 carries, 120 yards, 5.2 average, and 1 touchdown. They were just letting him run all over the Broncos defense. He was just running. I was like, how? Good blocking, though, by the Bills. Good blocking. But he did really good. Josh Allen, again, MVP type of stats. He had 20 completions on 26 attempts, 272 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did really good. Did really, really good. By the way, I'm shocked that Amari Cooper didn't really get the ball. He had 2 receptions, 8 yards. What? Why you trade for him if you're not going to use him? But whatever, you guys won 31-7 for the Broncos. Now, let's talk about the Broncos. When I saw this game, I was kind of fed up towards the fourth quarter, so I stopped and I took a nap. It was boring, bro. But I saw the quarterback trying, like he was trying. 13 completion, 22 attempts, 144 yards, 1 touchdown. Running back, they could have ran the ball a little bit more. I don't know. Wasn't feeling the running. The running game wasn't feel like working that well. Could have done different sets. Who was to blame for this game? Defense, quarterback, or coaches? I wouldn't say the quarterback. He's the rookie, bro. He did really good for his first playoff game. I think it's Sean Payton and the coaching staff. Defense, definitely too. So I would say a mixture of both, just like with the Steelers. Mixture of both. I think defense is a little bit more because they just let them run over them like it was nothing. Yeah, not a good look. Not a good look for the Broncos. But hey, man, they improved well compared to last season. Now let's talk about the Packers versus Eagles. Saw this game. It was a pretty good game, I would say. It's not that bad. In the beginning, it was kind of boring because the Eagles were up, I think, like 10-0, and the Packers missed a field goal. Then they were doing good on defense. I was saying that they were holding their own the first half, and then they just ended up kind of slipping away a little bit. But the Eagles won 22-10. The Eagles need to try and fix the offense a little bit better because you're going to be versing another team coming up, and you don't want to do this when you go up against the other team. But Jalen Hurts did really good. Like always, 13 completion, 21 attempts, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns. Barkley ran over the Packers, just like how Derrick Henry ran over the Steelers, and also Cook ran over the Broncos. Everyone just was running over the other team this whole weekend. It was kind of interesting. Barkley got 25 carries, 119 yards, and average 4.8. Shocking he didn't even get a touchdown. And then, yeah, Eagles just need to fix their, um, whatchamacallit, they need to fix their play calling a little bit better. Now, Packers, who is the issue for the Packers' mistakes on losing the game? Defense, coaching, or quarterback? I think what I think it really is I wouldn't say entirely defense. I would say a little bit of them, but not entirely because they did pretty good the first half. Second half, a little bit of mistakes, but they were doing somewhat good. Uh, I would say their offense, the whole offense, quarterback, everyone were doing bad. Um, Josh Jacobs didn't really get the ball. I mean, he did 18 carries, only had 81 yards and 4.5 average and one touchdown. So I think they could have ran the ball a little bit more with Jacobs, maybe a little better. Um, but I think play calling and the offense wasn't doing their job. Offense, I think mainly too many mistakes. Yeah, it wasn't a good look for the Packers, but they made the playoffs, bro. They made it compared to other teams that should have been in the playoffs. Now, the Washington Commanders versus Tampa Bay Bucks. Really good game. I watched this. I was excited for this one. I think this is the most exciting one to watch. This past weekend, Washington won 23-20 from a game-winning field goal. And who sold the game for the Bucks? Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield. Everyone's hyping him up, saying, "Oh, he's gonna beat them," yada yada. I projected the Commanders to win versus the Bucks. I told you, and they did. The defense came up. The defense kind of slacked a little bit, but they showed up towards the end. They got Baker to fumble. He recovered it. They were able to get to where they had to be to get the game tied up. And then all of a sudden, Tampa Bay just fumbled on defense. And then field goal came and they won the game. This is the first time the Commanders won a playoff game since, tell you, 2005. 2005. How old was I? I was 28. I think I was like, no, wait. I was between the ages of like 7 and 9 years old. No, wait, my bad. I was between the ages of like maybe 7 and 9 years old. I was 9 or 8 years old. So that was the last time the Commanders won a playoff game when I was 8 to 9 years old. That's crazy. And they've been at the playoffs, yeah, but they lost like 5 straight, I think it was, and they ended up winning. So, wow. At least they made the playoffs, but they ended up winning, which is awesome. And now they move on. I'm going to be talking about which teams are going to verse who the next round after I go over each game, so don't worry about that. And then we got the last game of the week, the Vikings versus Rams. This one, I was shocked. I chose the Vikings to win over the Rams automatically, but I should have thought. Every year the Vikings go to the playoffs, or every time they get close to the postseason, they tend to choke. And that's what they did. The last game of the season, lost. This, lost. They lost versus the Rams 27-9. 27-9. 27-9. And I think the reason why the Rams won this is that the whole thing in LA, we'll talk more about it as we talk about football. But the whole thing with LA, I think that got them very motivated. Got them, hey, they're doubting us. We're going through a lot right now, but we want to do this for the city of LA. We're the underdog. Let's do this. And they just did well. I was shocked. would that effect of the fire, if that didn't happen, would that kind of not make the Rams win? Who knows? But I think that whole thing that happened in LA really motivated them to win this game. And I'm proud of them, man. They gotta do it for LA, man. People got, you know, they're going through a rough patch right now in LA, and yeah, they had to do it for them. We'll talk more about it, but let's finish this up with football first. But yeah, the Matthew Stafford, they're really good. He's aging like fine wine. Pause. Uh, 19 completions on 27 attempts, 209 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Good, good. Running back Williams, 16 carries, 76 yards, 4.8 average. And then I'm shockingly Cooper Kupp only had one reception for 29 yards. Wow. Higbee did well. Puka did good. And then their defense locked up. Locked up. I don't know how their defense did this. Like, passing yards, okay. Rushing yards, alright. But for some reason, like, you know, it looked good on stats of how their passing yards and rushing yards compared to the Rams. But, as you know, they just were doing something good. I don't know how. Locking down Justin Jefferson, Addison, Jones, not letting Sam Darnold do his thing. Wow, very impressive. This could be a big thing for the Vikings. Are they going to move on from Sam Darnold? They seem like they're very, grateful that he joined the organization to help that team get to this level. Only have 2 to 3 losses. But are they going to keep him? That's a little tricky because you have a young rookie quarterback behind him that hasn't played yet, and he's really, really good. But Sam Darnold seems like he's so comfortable in Minnesota. He's thriving really good. And they think that might be his franchise player years to come. I mean, not long time, but, long. And would I not sign Darnold, or would I? I think I would sign him to an extension, like 3 or 4 year extension. Have the rookie quarterback learn from Sam Darnold, and then start to as he gets older, put him in here and there, because you don't know, some of these quarterbacks, you don't know if they're going to plan out right away. You might get rid of Sam Darnold, and then all of a sudden, poof, that quarterback comes in, and he's horrible. Or he's just, not ready. So I think Sam Darnold looked for a 3-4 year extension, maybe a little more than that, like 5. It's gonna be very tricky what the Vikings are gonna do. They're in a good spot though. They have good defense. They didn't do so well, but they have a good defense. Their offense with Justin Jefferson, Addison, a good tight end. O-line solid, even though they kind of messed up this game. They're in a good spot. They just gotta see the quarterback is the big thing they gotta focus on. I'm not sure what they should do, but like I said, they should keep Darnold for 3 or 4 years and see if maybe the other quarterback can develop behind him. You don't want to rush anything. But yeah, guys, that is the games that happened in the playoffs.